Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So Errol Spence is bent on getting Keith Thurman in the ring. Errol Spence says he's been chasing, he's been asking, he's been waiting to get a shot at Keith Thurman since he was 15-0. And what has Keith Thurman done in that time frame? Build his empire. Oh, what you thought I was going to say something crazy? Oh, stay tuned. I'm going to go in just a little bit, so stay tuned. Now, I'm going to read off a statement from Errol Spence real quick. Now, right now, I'm trying to get a fight in before Keith Thurman because he's supposed to be injured right now. He won't come back until early 2018, and I'm not going to wait that long. Hopefully, I can fight before the year's over with and then fight him later next year. Errol Spence's statement. Now, notice how he said Keith Thurman is supposed to be injured right now. You see, don't nobody believe that shit, that he's injured. I don't care how many photos he posts on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, WhatsApp, whatever he posts that picture on. I don't care. Because I don't think Keith Thurman's really injured, to be honest with you. And, I know he wasn't injured when he got into that car accident, that fake car accident. But he seems to have everybody fooled. He fights once a year. He's got everybody and their mama looking for this guy. And he's injured with an elbow injury. But he was just calling out Manny Pacquiao, though, right? You had an injured elbow, but you want to fight Manny Pacquiao? Really? Okay. All right. So if we give you the benefit of the doubt, and I can't give you the benefit of the doubt on the coming back early 2018 because that's not going to happen. Like I said, Keith Thurman won't be back until summer 2018 when he gets off vacation in Kuala Lumpur or wherever he is right now, all right? Maybe, I heard he did an interview. I got to check that out. But, look, Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. Apparently, everybody wants to fight Keith Thurman. Why is that? This is because Keith Thurman is someone that they see weaknesses in. I wouldn't even say that. Keith Thurman is, right now, he's the man at welterweight. I'll admit that. He's that dude to beat right now at welterweight. He's got 2 belts. And of course, everyone's coming for him. Now, Errol Spence, on the other hand, no one's really calling his name out but Jeff Horn. And we know Jeff Horn's blowing smoke. He's not trying to fight Errol Spence. But I would love to see Jeff Horn fight Errol Spence and get the Jesus knocked out his body. Get the kangaroo pussy knocked out his chest. That's what I like to see. But we're not going to get to see that fight. We'll never see unification between Jeff Horn and Errol Spence because he's just running his mouth, okay? Now, Sean Porter conducted an interview recently, and they were like, well, you seem to be chasing Keith Thurman a lot, and you've already lost to Keith Thurman, so why go after Keith Thurman? Why not go after Errol Spence? That's what the interviewer asked him. Why not go after Errol Spence? And, well, you know what Sean Porter had to say? Sean Porter said that, right now, Keith Thurman is the top dog at welterweight, and that's who we want to fight. We want the top dog at welterweight. Okay, all right. So that was his excuse for not trying to fight Errol Spence. And, they set up barriers before, way before Spence even had the belt, because his father was like, and this is when they came out with the rankings, maybe like a year ago. He was like, oh, Sean's not on the rankings? Oh, we'll never fight for the IBF again. And y'all knew Errol Spence was going to beat Kell Brook, and y'all knew y'all didn't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is calling out Errol Spence because they don't want to fight him. I think they're all scared, to be honest with you. Everybody at welterweight. And we know Keith Thurman. You know what happens when he gets a tough fight? He likes to, fake injuries like this elbow shit. Like I said in the other video, he's probably going to come back and he's probably going to fight Lamont Peterson. There's probably going to be some shit with the WBA where they're like, oh, you got to fight Lamont Peterson or we strip you of your belt. Watch what I tell you. Now, at some point, Keith Thurman is going to be forced to face Errol Spence, and that's if both of these guys keep winning. I think they can, continue to win. But when they fight, I don't know who I got. I really would lean toward Errol Spence. Some days I got Errol Spence. Some days I got Keith Thurman winning the fight. I don't know. We'll have to wait until that fight comes to fruition before I really get into a breakdown of the fight. But, as it stands right now, Keith Thurman's not knocking anybody out, and I think he's afraid. Plain and simple. I think he's afraid of Errol Spence. I don't think he wants to fight somebody like that. especially after that statement Errol Spence made beating Kell Brook. You can say what you want about the Kell Brook fight. You can say he was losing rounds early. He was losing rounds early, but guess what happened? He stopped Kell Brook in the UK. He stopped him. That's it. It doesn't matter what happened during the fight. Doesn't matter what happened before the fight, but it matters what happened after the fight. And after the fight, well, Kell Brook couldn't continue because his other eye was broken. All right? Kell Brook's career is in question right now because of Errol Spence. And the same thing would have happened if he would have fought him before Triple G. He still would have got his eye broken. I don't know why it's a debate about his eye being broken, the other one. So, I don't know. Keith Thurman used to be very vocal about a lot of things. I don't hear much about Keith Thurman anymore. You know, I see that he got married. Congrats. You know, other than that, I mean, when are you coming back? You say 2018 early, but it's really mid. Why you gotta lie to everybody, Keith? Man. But anyway, I mean, 2018 should be a big year for fights. It should be a great year for boxing. I would anticipate Errol Spence and Keith Thurman fighting in 2019. I think that makes sense. Yeah, because once we get 2018 out of the way, and you know what, late 2019, because Keith Thurman's got to come back. He's got a lot of names on that list he's got to tick off, you know. And I'm sure there are going to be some mandatory sprinkled in somewhere. So, yeah, again, the line is super long. But for whatever reason, nobody wants to fight Errol Spence. But can you really blame these guys? I hope to God they make that Jeff Horn Errol Spence fight. I really do. Jeff Horn's a dead man if he fights Errol Spence. Y'all got to know that. I'm not sure what Pacquiao's going to be doing for the rest of his career. I think he's done too. But Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, humor me and tell me who you guys got winning that fight. I think I kind of know how that goes. You know, the Keith Thurman defense team will come and say, oh, Keith Thurman's going to beat Errol Spence. He's too slow. He's not fast. He doesn't have fast hands. He's going to get knocked out. And then, of course, the Errol Spence team's going to come in and say, oh, well, Errol Spence is going to knock him out. You know Keith Thurman's weak to the body. Same old shit. But, you know, like I said, some days I favor Spence. Some days I favor Keith Thurman. But I'm pretty sure when fight time comes around, I'm probably going to be favoring Errol Spence. I'll just be honest. But we'll see. And we'll see how your boy Terrence Crawford plays into the equation if he beats Julius Indongo. I don't even know why I said if he beats Julius Indongo, because he's going to beat the living shit out of Julius Indongo. And then we'll never hear about him again. And then Bud can move up. Maybe Bud will fight Keith Thurman. That line's too damn long, man. Mikey Garcia. Such a long list of fighters looking to knock Keith Thurman out. Who will Keith Thurman choose? One fighter to rule them all, right? Anyway, yeah, drop a comment in the comment section. What do you think happens between Keith Thurman and Errol Spence? Does Keith keep ducking Errol Spence? And you know what? I guess I can't even say it's ducking at this point because it's a long-ass line, man. It's a stupid line for Keith Thurman. It's like if you camp out for some sneakers, man, and you stand in line from like 2 a.m. to like 11, 12 a.m. and shit just to get a pair of sneakers, man. That's exclusive as hell. You end up selling them shits for like $1,500. You pay $200. That's what that Keith Thurman. This shit's like the lottery, man. Keith Thurman's turning into the new Floyd Mayweather, not in terms of, you know, fighting ability or style, but just everybody wants him. You know, everybody wants to fight him. Pause. I didn't mean to say that, but everybody wants to fight Keith Thurman. But who's really beating him aside from a couple of fighters? You know, not too many people can beat Keith Thurman. I don't think at the welterweight division. You know, but I think Errol Spence has a good shot at beating him. But everybody else, I don't see it. Hitman Boxing. Sorry for the long outro. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, and I'm out.
You niggas steady ignoring greatness. A pallbearer what you need when I come undertake it. This hostile takeover by the chill hover. I got the blueprints, I really do this, so move on over. Stay in your lane, nigga, stay in your lane. You steady running at the guns, but fucking suck at the game. Ain't it a shame? It really is. My words evoke fear. I teach you lessons that'll have you breaking down in tears. Call me Joe Clark with a baseball bat, chaining up the doors and spelling all these niggas from rap. Cause they kill your brain cells, son. How don't you see it? They steady brainwashing you and then repeating, but 'tis the season for chill wage. I bring about change, but not Obama, cause this nation I will never claim. I got my sights aimed at the top spot on the chop block.